Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Friday PM show. This is meteorologist Johnny Lively filling in for Mr. Lucas Boswick this evening. Not too much going on the Tamco Live Doppler radar this evening. It's been a very nice Friday. We did warm up fairly quickly into the upper 80s. You can see that a shower tried to develop just southwest of Houston there, I would say just north of Houston as well too, but it did not last too long. It was just a quick little shower, if that at best. But other than that, we can see all the rain is far off towards the east. Lots going on into the Tennessee Valley. You can see the dry line going on in far of West Texas. But here locally across southeast Texas, the southwest Louisiana, it is definitely quiet. Look at all that. The total lightning strikes, if you zoom out on the radar, 610 lightning strikes just in the last 2 minutes. So it's very active across parts of the country, but just not active here just yet, because we are expecting a pretty soggy weekend setting up for this Memorial Day weekend, or this Memorial weekend. Here we are looking at the satellite and radar. Look at the storms blow up on the dry line out towards West Texas. There was nothing, and then bam, some big thunderstorms, but not much going on here locally. We're seeing some clouds starting to sneak in from the west. All this is indicating that we're starting to see a little bit more moisture on the way, and there's that stationary boundary far off towards the north. We're all starting to see that the stage is being set for a pretty wet Saturday and Sunday in store for us. And in fact, this last 5 days has been pretty wet. The heaviest has been over there towards our southwest in Lake Jackson and Angleton, anywhere from 4 up to 7 to 8 inches of rain. But the rest of the region, we've seen anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, some areas up to 4 inches. So to say the least, it has been somewhat of a wet week off and on this week, and we expect a pretty soggy weekend coming up, especially tomorrow into Sunday, and it's going to be extending into at least Memorial Day as well too. And then rain sticks in the forecast for much of next week as well too. Look at the temperatures we have. Still pretty warm out there. It's 5:30, 5:40. You're getting closer. It's 5:36. I'm sorry if we could be exact. But it is still warm out there into the upper 80s. Some areas at the 90-degree mark like Jasper, down towards the coast, into the low to mid 80s. Thanks to our sponsor of Neutron Electrical Services, showing us what's going on, the current temperatures. What we're seeing really this weekend setting up is just lots of moisture coming in. We've got high moisture content, and then you got this upper level disturbance that's going to be moving in tomorrow afternoon. All of this is really kind of setting the stage for some pretty heavy rainfall rates with some of the storms we're going to see tomorrow. And how much storms are we going to see? Well, at least 70 to 80% coverage. Numerous showers and thunderstorms off and on throughout the day on Saturday and again on Sunday. Thanks to our sponsor of HailGuard, or Tamco HailGuard Beyond Class 4. We can kind of show you this rainfall outlook. Let's put all this in the Futurecast, so let's ignore what's going on this evening. It's beautiful. It's nice. It's going to be a quiet Friday night. As we get into Saturday morning, we look at the Futurecast. We can see that some isolated storms can pop up in the morning, but the coverage is just around 10 to 20%. Once we get a little bit later in the morning, around 10, 11 o'clock, that coverage does start picking up. Likely going to be just north of the I-10 corridor, getting into the Lakes region, closer to that US 190. But once we get close to the afternoon hours, here we are, 1, 2, 3 p.m., that coverage will just continue to increase throughout the afternoon on Saturday, especially by the time we get into Saturday evening. I would imagine we might see the coverage actually pick up a little bit more than what this model is showing, but again, 70 to 80% coverage by Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, and this is going to continue into the nighttime hours on Saturday. And here we are by Sunday morning, another round coming in for the Houston area, moving into Beaumont, then progressing into the Lake Charles area. So what we're seeing is it's not going to rain all day long on Saturday, all the way through Sunday, but we are going to have waves and rounds of some locally heavy rainfall potential Saturday and on Sunday. So if you see, once we get into Sunday afternoon, the coverage does die down a little bit, but the heaviest does look to be on Sunday morning. And then here we are on Memorial Day Monday. You see the coverage starts picking up again. Here we are at daybreak on Sunday. Coverage picking up in southeast Texas, even over there into southwest Louisiana. But by the time we get into the afternoon, we've got the heat of the day. We can get more coverage once again. Right now, we're going with 40 to 50% coverage on Monday, but in other words, it's just looking like a pretty wet weekend shaping up this Memorial Day. Thanks to Do Good Credit Union for the Futurecast here. Now, let me move out of the way. You can see that the widespread rainfall totals that we are expecting, this is pretty much Saturday through Monday. I would say that widespread-wise, 2 to 3 inches seems pretty common. It's these isolated spots that are getting up to 4, 5, 6 inches of rain that is not impossible. So widespread 2 to 3 inches of rain seems pretty common Saturday through Monday. Sunday. These isolated areas could have some slightly higher totals. We'll definitely continue to keep watching that. As we get into next week, even into next weekend, notice that we are still shaped out or in this outlook to be an above average chance for rain chances. In other words, we are not having a big time drought in the month of May going into June. This has been a pretty wet month of May, and it looks like we're going to be doing that to at least start out the month of June as well too. Here's our temperatures we're going to see tonight. It's going to be warm and muggy. It's going to be very humid down the I-10 corridor towards the coast. That moisture is going to slowly continue to increase throughout the night thanks to Silsbee Ford. Well, you can see it's going to be a pretty warm night tonight, but hey, we're used to that this time of year. But tomorrow, here goes that coverage picking up. Not too bad in the morning. By the time we get to around 10, 11 o'clock, we see it picking up, but it's really that afternoon into the evening time. Thanks to the cloud, thanks to the rain, we're not going to get into the upper 80s to low 90s. We're mostly going to be into the low 80s to low to mid 80s, I guess I should say. Here's our forecast for Southeast Texas the next 5 to 7 days. Locally heavy rainfall is definitely on the way Saturday and Sunday. Widespread 2 to 4 inches seems pretty likely Saturday through Monday. We'll see the storms hanging around on Memorial Day Monday. Might have to possibly raise the coverage a little bit on Memorial Day Monday. I think at best 40% seems pretty, likely, but that coverage could be slightly higher. And then notice Tuesday is warm and could be somewhat dry, but the rain moves back in with another system on Wednesday and still having some lingering showers and storms on Thursday and Friday as well too. But thanks to all the clouds and the rain, we aren't getting into the 90s anytime soon. Here we are for Southwest Louisiana. Locally heavy rainfall on the way Saturday and Sunday, lingering into Memorial Day Monday. Tuesday is not bad, mostly dry throughout the day. In the afternoon and evening, we can see 30% coverage, but we do warm up fairly quickly on Tuesday, and then more locally heavy rainfall is potentially moving in on Wednesday, and then we still have some rain in the forecast as we get into Thursday and Friday as well too. As we are talking about a pretty wet weekend, it would be a wonderful time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It's in the Google and App Store. You can go download it for free. It will keep you updated 24/7. Anytime rain's moving in, you get an alert. When the rain's moving out, you also get an alert. But you can look at all of our forecasts around the clock, check out what's going on radar. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Friday PM show. I will see y'all tomorrow morning for the Saturday morning show. I think that will be a really good one to tune in because we can get a much better timeline of what to expect for Saturday. Again, this is when we're going to expect that locally heavy rainfall. Let me go back to the model just real quick, and I can actually move this with my mouse to make this a little bit easier. It seems like I kind of do ramble a little bit sometimes, but I just want to show, but Saturday morning, some isolated pop-up showers and storms are possible. It's later in the morning that we see the coverage picking up. It's really the afternoon and evening that we start seeing the potential for locally heavy rainfall, and this will continue into Sunday morning. And then by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, it does die down a little bit, the coverage, but we still have some isolated scattered showers and storms. But the biggest potential for some locally heavy rain is definitely Saturday afternoon through Sunday late morning. But again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Friday PM show. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning for the Saturday morning show. Have a great Friday evening, and thanks again for tuning in to Gulf Coast Weather Solutions.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by.
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.